Hi, my name's David. I'm the designer of Nyblit, and I'm just going to take you through a quick tutorial to show you the absolute basics of Nyblit. If you're opening the app for the first time, I suggest you click on the menu and go into iCloud settings and make sure that you've got iCloud turned on. This will keep the app in sync and backed up with iCloud. You can also work locally, but we recommend using iCloud to keep everything in sync and safely backed up. I then suggest that you go to Calendar Sync and just make sure that you've got Enable Calendar Sync turned on, and also mark completed reminders as done. And just for now, we do have some AI settings, but let's just leave them turned off for now, because I can introduce that in a moment. So step one, creating just a basic task. So we go into what do you need to do, and we're going to type in a task, call Bob, and hit return. That's created the task. It's in our not started tab. So we have 5 tabs: not started, in progress, that's for tasks that we're actually working on right now, blocked is for tasks that are blocked because we're waiting for someone else to do something or something else to happen that's beyond our control. So this is quite useful if you've outsourced something to somebody else, or you've delegated a task to someone else, or perhaps you're waiting for an email feedback before you can complete the task. That's what blocked is for. And then we have later, and this is for tasks that for whatever reason we want to postpone until later, because they're not ready, you're waiting for a particular date, maybe you're saving up money for something and it's not ready to start yet, and you might want to set a timer to remind you when it's ready to go. And then finally, the Done tab is obviously for tasks we've completed, and we have an archive here which I'll show you in a moment. So going back to Call Bob, let's say that this task is ready. We're going to tap the menu here and set it to in progress. And in it goes. Let's say that we call Bob, but we've left a voicemail, and now we're waiting for him to call us back. So that means the task is effectively blocked. There's nothing further we can do until Bob calls us back. So we can put that into blocked. So for whatever reason, Bob hasn't called me back, so we can put it back to in progress. And let's say we try again later and he finally picks up the phone. I was starting to worry. And he says, call me back in 10 minutes. So this now becomes a later task, so we can tap later. And 10 minutes just so happens to be the default timer. So we're just going to hit set delay. And Call Bob is now in the later tab with a 10-minute timer, and we'll get a reminder as soon as it's ready. And we can edit the timer just by tapping on it, cancel the delay, set notifications, etc. And when we finally call Bob, we can set the task as done. If we want to then archive that task, we can just swipe right. And there it is in our archive. There's another way of doing this. If we say, call Susan. So before I was tapping on the menu and choosing which status, but if you tap and hold on the menu, you get this quick pick radial menu, and you can just select, tapping and holding, which status you want. So in progress, blocked, later, set a delay timer, and when the task is ready, we can hit done. And if we want to archive everything in here, we can just tap the archive button up here, just to quickly archive it. That's the very basics of Nyblit. There's so much more it can do, so I hope you'll join me for the next tutorial, and we're going to dive into more features. Thanks for watching.